Have you ever found yourself needing to convert a Dyalog APL value into a character vector, only to feel stuck? It can be a real challenge, but don't worry. Today, we're going to tackle how to convert any Dyalog APL value so you can easily pass it to the evaluation function. I totally get it. Converting values in Dyalog APL can be confusing, especially when you want to ensure that the output is human editable and fits perfectly into your unit tests. You're definitely not alone in this struggle. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, how do I convert any Dyalog APL value to a character vector that can be passed to the evaluation function to get the same value? If this sounds like your situation, stick around as we explore the solution together. So why is this conversion necessary? When you're working with unit tests in Dyalog APL, having values in a human-readable format allows for easier editing and management, especially when using version control systems. Let's break down how to achieve this. And make sure to stay with us until the end. I have a special tip that will help you streamline your testing process even further. To convert any Dyalog APL value to a character vector, the user should start by defining the value they want to convert. For example, let's create a two-dimensional array. Next, the user needs to wrap this value in a nested vector. This is done using the comma and the inner vector function. This step prepares the value for conversion. Now, the user should append a character vector to the existing nested vector. This allows for additional data to be included in the final output. After preparing the value, the user can now apply the desired function to convert it into a character vector. This function will format the value correctly for use with the evaluation operator. Finally, the user can verify that the conversion was successful by using the evaluation operator. This checks if the original value and the evaluated character vector are equivalent. Fun fact, Dyalog APL is known for its concise syntax, but it can be a bit tricky when it comes to conversions. Just remember, every expert was once a beginner. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by a user involves using the function upage from the Dyalog utils namespace. This function converts a Dyalog APL value into a human-readable APL source code format. For example, if you have a matrix and some additional values, you can apply repobj to get a structured output that can be easily edited and inserted into unit tests. The output will show the value in a format that can be evaluated back to the original value, ensuring that your tests remain manageable and editable. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. This user suggests that using execute and transfer form may not be the best solutions due to readability issues, inefficiency, and security risks. Instead, they recommend using JSON, which is designed for this purpose. However, JSON has limitations, such as not being able to represent higher dimensional arrays. The user provides examples of how to work around this limitation. Looking ahead, they mention that in version 16.0, an experimental feature called tJSON will be available, enhancing JSON capabilities in Dyalog APL. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative approach shared by a user involves using built-in functions available in other APL environments. For instance, in IBM APL 2 and new APL, you can use the command toTTF to convert a variable to APL code that produces its value. This method allows for easy conversion back and forth between the value and its corresponding APL code. In GNU APL, you can also use intricacies to achieve similar results. This command generates multiple APL statements, which you can execute using tat to evaluate them. This method provides a flexible way to handle APL values and their representations. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative approach shared by a user suggests using Dyalog APL's serialization features introduced in version 15.0. They mention that while they are unsure about using the eval function, you can serialize and deserialize arrays easily. Additionally, the user encourages joining the Dyalog APL forums for more community support and insights. That's it for that response. Let's explore another one. This user points out that the Dyalog APL interpreter doesn't provide a straightforward way to save and rebuild any variable type due to complexities like namespaces and objects. They mention that serialization isn't ideal since it's not human readable. Instead, they recommend using the user command to save objects to a file, which can be edited and reloaded easily. Additionally, the user introduces the component file system, which allows for saving and reloading variables easily. They provide examples of how to append and read files, emphasizing that while these examples are simplified, they demonstrate the functionality well. Here's that special tip I promised. Always keep your test scenarios in a human-editable format. This will save you time and headaches when you need to make changes in the future. And there you have it. You've successfully converted a Dyalog APL value into a character vector. Remember, practice makes perfect. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on Dyalog APL.